Good day everyone, it's Mark the Landlocked surfer here, and we are switching into the winter mode of surf substitution. I bought this PowSurfer from Burton back in November, and I've been waiting patiently for the snow to fall to be able to test it out and give you guys my review. A PowSurfer is designed to feel like you're riding a surfboard, but you use it in deep snow, going downhill on a mountain. So it bears some similarities to surfing and some with snowboarding. If you have experience surfing and snowboarding, it's a sport you can quickly adapt to and figure out. When I first saw some videos of PowSurfing, I knew I needed to try it, but the boards were expensive. The initial ones that came out were selling for over $500, and for where I live, it just wasn't worthwhile for the few powder days that we get here. When the Burton Backseat driver came on the market, it created that niche that was in between the really entry-level ones like the Burton Throwback DIY and the higher echelon ones that are going to run you $500 to $2,000. This one sold for $350 regular price in Canadian dollars. My first impression when I opened this board up was to be blown away by how aesthetically beautiful it is. It's got the matte black on top, it's got the contrasting red on the bottom. I know that looks aren't that important when it comes to reviewing a board, but when I make videos and I look at that contrast between this board and the white snow, it just looks stunning. The concave that you see in the deck here made me have a lot of confidence that this board is going to ride extremely well in the soft powder. Because you're not attached to your PowSurfer with bindings, typically PowSurfers are not permitted at commercial ski resorts. However, they're not actually that useful at commercial ski resorts on a typical day due to the fact that you really need powder to make these work. They don't perform well on machine-groomed hills. In the footage you're seeing here, I sort of lucked out. Ski hills in my area were closed down because of the COVID shutdowns. So that meant if you were willing to strap on some snowshoes and hike up the mountain, you got these glorious long runs full of powder. And these were perfect conditions for testing out the backseat driver. And man oh man, was it ever fun. This really did feel like surfing when you were hitting those turns. Because you aren't strapped to your board like on a snowboard, the movement and weight distribution that you have to use to get these carves feels a lot more similar to surfing or to surf skating than it does to snowboarding, which would be a little bit more akin to wakeboarding. In the deep powder, the backseat driver floats very nicely. It's got that spoon up at the front. It's got a sharp tip that cuts through the snow like a hot knife through butter. And then it tapers back towards you so you can lean into those turns really well. Being freed from bindings means you can do some surf tricks like cross-stepping up and riding on the nose. And you can also do some skateboarding tricks like this leash-assisted pop shove it. I also want to highlight that this board is really lightweight, making it easy to carry in the backcountry, and it also finger flips like a dream, which is always a fun way to start your runs. The backseat driver has an extruded base which glides nicely over powder. It also has metal edges which are not common on all PowSurfers. So even though you're not going to be using those edges to drive into machine-groomed snow, it is going to be helpful in protecting your board if you do come across any stumps, rocks, logs, things that are going to happen when you're riding in the backcountry. This board has a V-shaped hull in the tail, which keeps that loose feeling that you would get from like a twin fin fish surfboard. Now a quick warning about the flip side of that. If you live in a place that doesn't get a lot of powder, and you're not going to have many days with at least 6 inches of snow, the V-shaped hull actually makes this more difficult to use in areas where there's hard-packed snow with just a thin layer of powder on top of it. In those types of conditions, you're going to have trouble with this board, because as you try to lean into it, you're just going to slide out, as all of your weight is going to be on the very small point of that V-hull. In those types of conditions, I actually prefer my Burton Throwback, which has a flat base. I see a parallel here with the surfing world in that on these small days where there's not a lot of powder, I'm going to take my big foamy equivalent, which is the Burton Throwback board. And then on the days where you get a nice huge dump of powder, that's when you're going to bring out your high performance shortboard, which is this Burton Backseat driver. There's only one key negative to this board that I think is worth highlighting, and that is to do with traction. Traction is essential when you're PowSurfing. Imagine surfing without any wax. Well, it's even worse on a PowSurfer where you're in snowy, icy conditions and you need to stick to your board because you don't have bindings. The little rubber nubs that they provide, they look good and they do provide good traction. They just don't stick to the board well enough. Almost every time I go out, I lose one from the back. I'm down 4 already on the back side, and I'm feeling the difference that makes. I'm going to have to look into an alternate solution, maybe take the rest of them off and put on something like a stomp pad. So Burton, if you see this, that's something you might want to address for future updates on the Burton Backseat driver. So if you've been interested in getting into PowSurfing, if you live somewhere that gets a decent amount of snowfall, and if you live somewhere that's nearby some topography, you don't even need like a huge Aspen style ski hill. You can get some fun surf turns in just on a small sledding hill. If all those cases apply, I think this is a good value purchase. For $350, you can get your surf fix over the winter. And end of season sales are coming up, so the price could drop. Keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on riding this for the rest of the season and will provide some update videos, so subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. If you're interested in PowSurfing and surf skating and river surfing, lake surfing, pretty much any kind of surfing, you might be interested in the other content on my channel, so I'd encourage you to subscribe. Thanks again for watching.